Angle sum of a triangle. In other words, what do the angles inside a triangle add up to? Now you might know off the top of your head that this is 180 degrees. Part of the reason is because we just did triangles last assignment. Sure enough, you're right. The angles inside a triangle equal 180 degrees. Now if you're wondering, why is that true for every triangle? You can do what I did, which is Google angle sum of a triangle proof, and you could see immediately so many things pop up. There are websites that walk you through step by step why that's true. You can click on images. There are proofs that you can look at, and even more helpful, maybe the most helpful, is that you can click on a video, whether it be from Khan Academy, whether it be from teachers around the world that have spent time filming specific videos on this topic. Give it a try and maybe see just for a few minutes why this is true. But for this lesson, I'm just going to dive in and we're going to go on this fact that every single angle in a triangle, the three angles add up to 180 degrees. Okay. We're going to start with 6 different warm-up problems here out of 10. In each of these 6 problems, they're going to give us 2 angles of a triangle. And we're going to simply just find our third angle. Well, we know that since they all add up to 180 degrees, in my Desmos calculator, each time I can start with 180, and then I could simply just subtract the 2 angles in my problem, these 2 here, and then it will spit out the answer for what the third angle is on the bottom. So you could pause this video or skip ahead and just do the same thing on all 6. You're going to get different numbers than me. And a reminder that this box means 90. That's why I put 90 up there. And then the numbers are just whatever they appear to be, 53. So the first 6 problems, you're simply starting with 180 and you're subtracting the 2 angles. So I will meet you guys on number 7. You could pause this and just skip ahead to number 7 in the video. Or you can go with me because I'm going to really fast go through these all. I make a promise to you each and every time that by the end of my assignment I will submit and get 100% so you know that I have done every problem, that they are all doable. Practice what I preach. Always, always, always. And so I will do that right alongside with you. 105.31, and it looks like I have once again another square down here, which again means 90. $54. Okay. Are you on number 7 yet? If so, welcome to the party. Number 7 is the first time that we do it a little differently. We're going to use our triangle categories that we learned last assignment to complete this problem. So you will see 5x, 5x, and 5x, or I should say some number that matches. It probably won't be 5. You could have 10x, 10x, and 10x, 20x, 20x, and 20x. Some amount of x's. There are 2 ways of doing this. You could say, all right, well, I know I have 5x, 5x, and 5x. Well, what is that? A lot of times when I ask people this, they say 3x because there's 3 x's. Yeah, but each of them have 5 next to them. So it's simpler to ignore the x letter and think of this as any sort of category of things. If I have 5 pizzas, 5 pizzas, and 5 pizzas, you don't have 3 pizzas. No, you have 5 plus 5 plus 5. You have 15 pizzas. If I have 5, 5, and 5 cows, I have 15 cows, and that would be utterly ridiculous. I'm dairy certain that was a terrible pun. Okay, 15x. Now, you know that each of these equal 180. So from our algebra review of sad me, backwards PEMDAS, but no parentheses, we have to subtract it at first, then multiply and divide. and finally exponents. On this one, we do not have anything other than a one step. And we know that our number and x together are like leaving two rabbits together. They multiply, so the opposite will be divide. So you could take 180 and divide it by the total number of x's that you have. Not that you've broken up with recently, but in this problem. And I will show you what that looks like for me. Since I had 5, 5, and 5 is 15, 180 divided by 15 would give me 12. Here's what else you can do. You can remember that because this is an equilateral triangle, last assignment we reviewed that each of those angles must be 60. So these are also three different simultaneous algebra problems that equal 60, meaning I can do the same thing on either one of these and divide by 5. And 60 divided by 5 is also 12. So whether you remember that each of these are 60 and just do dividing by how many x's you have on each angle, or you add up all three angles and then divide 180 by that, you will get the same answer. And for me, that answer was 12. I wonder what you got. There you go. All right, number 8. Now I don't have an equilateral triangle. I don't have an isosceles triangle. I have a scalene triangle because all three sides, it's the ugly fish, are different. 2x, 15x, and 3x. So I'm just going to do this the first way I did the last one. I'm going to add them all up. 2x plus 15x plus 3x. Can add that over here. 2 plus 15 plus 3 is 20. So 20x equals 180. So I'm going to divide 180 divided by 20. Each of them are 9. So again, pause this video if that went too fast. Basically, add up all three of your x's, all three of these numbers, just like I did up here. And whatever you get, like I got 20, divide 180 by that number. So that number should match right here and here. And there's your answer. All right, so if you've done all these correct, you have 80%. You could submit now, or you can do the last two problems. For now, we have to combine like terms to solve this algebra problem. So I have the like terms of my x's, 14x, 7x, and 3x. And I have the like terms of my numbers that don't have x's. I have my positive 6, positive 3, and positive 3. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to combine those numbers. So 6 plus 3 plus 3, and I'm doing this in red to match the color, is 12. And then my x's are 7x plus 14x plus 3x is 24x. So I've got one equation that is 12 plus 24x equals 180. It's a two-step problem. I got to use sad me. I've got to subtract 12 from each side. So I'm going to do this over here. So I get 24x is 180 minus 12 is 168. And then divide by 24. 168 divided by 24. And I will plug that in my calculator. So hit pause if you need this work. 180 divided by 24 is 7.5. Well, here's a perfect example of why you should watch this video, because you see a couple things. One, if we hit a decimal here, like I got, that automatically means I made a mistake, because we should never get a decimal. And the mistake was that when I got rid of my notes that I would have loved to still see, I forgot that I'm not dividing 180 by 24. I'm dividing what happened when I subtracted 180 by my numbers that didn't have x's, which I had 6, 3, and 3, and that combined to 12, and 180 minus 12 was 168. So it's actually just 7. That was a lot. It's kind of complicated, so if you're still confused, allow me to explain number 10, because it's the same exact thing. Okay, I'm going to clear all this over here. And I'm just going to show you with the calculator maybe an easier way. So I'm going to start with my three numbers that don't have x's on them. So 7, 1, and 16. So I do 7 plus 1 plus 16. So 24. And then immediately let's subtract that from 180. 180 minus 24. I already showed you why that occurred algebraically, but if that was too much writing, too much letters and numbers, especially when you're watching this, who knows what time of day it is for you. Let's just simplify it and do it like this. Now I need to take 156 and I need to divide it by how many x's I have. Well, let's just figure that out down below here. So the x's I have are 15, 6, and 5. So 15 plus 6 plus 5. Now notice you can even just write that down below here. 15 plus 6 plus 5. Or you can use the 26 number I came up with down there. Either way, you'll get your answer of 6. If you're still confused and you rewatch these videos a few times and you're like, I have no idea, you could always plug in numbers for x and guess and check until they all equal 180. Or you can honestly just say, all right, I'm cool with the B minus. I've got the first 8 correct. I'm going to submit with a 80% and move on with my life. I won't feel bad for that. It's totally up to you. You can also just stick with it, reattempt as many times as you need to, and get the 100% eventually. 100% up to you. All right, there it was, angle sum of a triangle. We had 6 easy warm-up problems, a couple in the middle, and then the last few may be a tad difficult. It seems like the right balance for a whole 10-question assignment. As always, I hope this finds you happy and healthy and well. This has been a lesson from your math teacher, Dylan. Until next time, have an absolutely wonderful day.